Today's broadcast was brought to you by Vistaprint. Create powerful promotions that are easy to design and hard to miss. With Vistaprint, it's easy to customize your business cards, marketing material, corporate gifts, calendars, stationery, and more with confidence, or get real-time design help. Visit radioonfire.com/Vistaprint to get $20 off any order of $40 or more. If you have a message to get out, you want it to be affordable, but you want it to look professional. Visit radioonfire.com/Vistaprint for $20 off today.
You are now tuning into Out the Box Radio Show. Entertainment at its best. Hot topics, games, and unforgettable interviews. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Jacqueline.
Hello, happy Thursday, Out the Box Radio. What's up? That should be the new jingle. I need some backup. Let's do it again. Can I have some backup this time, y'all?
Yeah.
Happy Thursday. Welcome to Out the Box Radio.
Radio.
She's like, yeah. that's what I meant to say. Look, we'll make it work, okay? How y'all feeling today? Welcome.
Good. Hey.
Guess who we have back? I'm looking at you asking. Guess who we have back? Woohoo! We have Miss Kelsey. Kelsey Gooden.
That's not Kelsey Gooden.
Who was that?
That's the Duchess of Cambridge.
Miss
I'll
Princess.
take either or.
Either one, right?
Work.
You getting them royalties?
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
That's all that matters, right? Get the money.
Royalty.
And get the money, honey. Well, welcome back. How do you feel today?
I feel good. It's
Feel
been a
good?
good day.
Has
I got
it?
a lot done.
Good.
And it was really pretty
Awesome.
out, so it was nice.
Yes.
I
It
didn't
was
even
a
get
little
to see
chilly.
the day.
You had what was it?
I didn't even get to see the day.
You were inside all day?
Because you've been hiding behind them glasses, honey. That's why you haven't been able to see the day. Well, she's been able to seize the day. So I'm happy to hear that you are back at the table with us. The last time you were actually here as like a special guest co-host, which you actually are doing today too. You're filling in for Jared today.
Yeah.
But we're also going to be asking you. We're also going to be asking you a ton of questions because we actually want to get more in depth with more like an interview style with you, so the viewers can get to know more about you as well.
Yeah.
Because they need to know why you're so special to us.
Oh.
Okay.
All right, I'll tell you.
So she's going to get us all the juice, right? All the juice is about to come. But before we actually start anything, I like how my ring is so heavy. You hear that?
That is heavy.
Who's there?
Gold.
It's tungsten.
That's heavy love.
Tungsten metal, yes. It's very, very, very heavy. A little uncomfortable, but sorry.
It happens.
Sorry, babe. It is a little uncomfortable. But me and my fiance have the same exact rings.
Oh,
So he feels my pain because we both have to wear this heavy thing on our hands.
So you suffer together.
We
It's
suffer
heavy
together.
love.
Yes, that's what happens when you get together. So we talk a lot about work. Unfortunately, we talk a lot about work here. Even though this is a job for us, we also do other things. You know what I mean? Obviously, some of us act full time. Some of us work in HR. Just to be specific. Some of us work for the government. You pick who is who, right? But we talk a lot about work, and there's some topics we've touched on and some we have not touched on. So I kind of want to ask a question about work because it's some interesting things I've heard from other people. And being in different industries and different fields, I want to know what you ladies have to say towards this question.
Okay.
Okay, so the question is, what's the weirdest thing that has happened to you while on the job? Now, that can be anything that's happened to you directly or somebody else that you encountered in your office, in your job. Or if you're, for example, if you're working full-time as an actress, you probably have tons more to talk about. But in the field of acting as well, it can go either way. Well, Kelsey, can you think of anything off the top of your head? But like the weirdest thing that
Do we want to go with like my current job, like with acting? Honestly, I don't know if I could think of anything that weird on set, but like I worked retail for a long time, and there's so many stories that just
Please
popped in.
give us a couple, some good ones.
So one of my jobs actually, I worked in a nightclub and I sold shots, and that
Oh,
was like
wow.
a job in itself.
Right.
Like that was weird.
Ooh.
Every night was just weird. I don't even remember stories. It was just
every night.
It was a regular
different
thing.
adventure, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But my last job before I quit to act full time, I was a like sales floor manager for Jamie Foxx's new line of sunglasses, Privé Revaux.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Their Times Square location, so I helped open that up and get
what?
that started. But Times Square comes with a bunch of characters.
Oh,
literally.
Yeah.
Literally and not
Yeah,
literally.
there was one guy who was obviously under some type of
Drugs.
yeah.
Okay.
And it was late, and we were trying to close, and I was trying to get my girls to like leave, but there was a sign out front with Jamie Foxx, and he was lighting something, like obviously smoking on the sidewalk, and then he passed it to Jamie Foxx's picture on the billboard. Like this
Wait a
guy
minute.
thought he was smoking with him, and
He
I was
thought he
like,
was
yo,
really-
this is a trip. And I was like, guys, nobody can leave right now. We gotta wait a minute. But
You should have recorded that. That is some
I
funny
think
shit.
I'm sure one of them did.
I would have
But it was
hashtag
such a
Jamie in
trip,
that.
yeah.
I would have hashtagged him in that. That is hilarious.
Yeah. So that one was fun.
That's good. That's a good one. A little uncomfortable because I wouldn't
Very
want. I wouldn't want to step
uncomfortable.
outside either. Like
no.
no. I'd be like, I'm just a walking billboard. Don't bother me, please.
I'm
Jojo,
a
what would you say?
Oh,
The weirdest thing that has happened to you or to somebody else at the job? I know you got some stuff
I do.
because you be working with some crazy situations
Oh my
and
gosh,
different
yes.
people.
Oh. So I work for a security company, and we secure like Class A buildings. So one of our buildings is an apartment, and I get a phone call one day like, you have to term somebody.
That means let go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, what?
Sorry.
Then I get an email. In the email is a video of two of my guards in the model apartment doing things that they should not be doing while they're on post
What?
in the model apartment.
Oh, wait a minute. It's like furnished. Is it furnished?
Yeah, you
Oh,
know
you
the
mean fully furnished.
yeah, you know the model
Was
apartments
it same
have like
sex? Same sex guards or different?
no different.
Oh, I thought it was really about to be juicy.
No, but
send me the video, please.
so that's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I'm
Did you
like, yo,
watch
they
it?
were really I watched it.
The whole thing? She was
No,
intrigued. Don't lie. Sometimes people like to watch porn. She was intrigued.
that was different though, because I knew they were. So I'm
So
like,
you
yo,
really
what
was
the
watching to see what people was working
I'm
with.
like, yo, what the hell's happening right now? Like,
Uh-huh. Was you eating snacks and drinking some drinks at the same time? Like,
No.
Like you was watching a movie?
I was in my mind trying to figure out
Would it be like if you were her?
how do it. No, like,
Oh.
my mind didn't even go
Ultimately.
there. I'm like, how do I bring them in to even talk about this?
How do
Like,
you discuss? Well, how did you?
How do I discuss this?
That is
Like,
awkward.
so,
How did you discuss that?
um,
That's very awkward. Oh.
you know, I said, first of all, it was very difficult for me to keep a straight face. Very hard.
I'm sure. Absolutely.
So I called them in one by one because I would not have been able to talk to them at the same time.
Oh, that would have been funny as hell.
But I'm like, you know, you were caught doing some things on camera
Did
that
they-
you were not supposed to be doing. First of all, how do you secure a building? No. No, like
they're
it's
not in
24
trouble, right?
hour. It's 24-hour security. So,
But you get
it
breaks.
was-
You get breaks. Oh, you don't get no breaks?
Yeah, but one at a time.
That's
You can't
against
both
Maryland
go on a
state
break.
law.
You can't go on a break at the same time.
Well, you
Oh,
also
were they
can't
the
do.
only guards that were on duty?
Oh,
Oh,
They were
had to-
securing their
whole
own
building
assets.
unattended.
That was
Ooh,
the
that's great.
the craziest type. I don't.
Oh my
I-
God.
Listen.
Yeah, how did they react? I'm sure
So
once you talked about it.
the guy, he took it differently than the girl. The girl, she obviously was embarrassed,
Mm-hmm.
and so she's like, "Oh my God, who else saw it?" Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, first of all, the client sent it to me, so they saw it. Okay, that's number one.
Oh,
It was their
no.
camera.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Well, why would they think that there's a camera in the model?
Is there normally? Isn't
Of
there?
course it is.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well, now I know, so I'm not going to do it in a model room.
Yeah,
Right.
showing an apartment, they need the people to be secure.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I mean, it's fully
I
That
didn't.
makes
furnished.
sense though.
It's a full,
Like, I feel
yeah,
like-
people might try to
Yeah.
steal shit.
Come on, knock that
Yeah.
off my list. Now I can't do it in a model apartment.
Yeah, don't do it.
Well, I can. You know, I like to be on camera with some
Anywhere
stuff.
with a model.
Yeah, HR Jonay and regular Jonay, it was a clash because it was so funny to me.
So how did the dude react?
He was just like, damn. He was like, damn.
Typical dude,
yo,
right.
I
He
did
didn't
it.
even mind.
He wasn't that phased with the girl. She was so embarrassed. Like, she was crying.
Right. What was the description?
That's funny. No, I wrote security officers were caught in compromising positions.
They sure wasn't a compromising position.
I didn't.
One of
What
them
else was I supposed to
She
say?
was.
Was it a quickie or was it?
Yeah, what kind of position were they in? I want to know now. Was she like leaned over the couch? The model couch?
They were in the bed.
Oh, wow.
They were in the bed.
Like
Shoot.
the whole thing.
With no plastic cover. Ooh.
In the damn bed. Yeah, that was my exact reaction.
Did they finish? You know what? That's not even a question I need to ask. Don't worry about Justin.
You know, I didn't watch the whole thing. I just
you skip
watched
to the good
enough
part?
to know. I didn't skip any parts.
Play music or was it?
I'm sure it was silent.
If it was silent, it ain't no good. Hold
There was
up.
no audio, so I don't know what was being said. That would have been even. Listen,
That'd have been more
if there
awkward.
would have been audio, I know for a fact I would have not been able to have a straight face conversation.
That'd have been so weird.
Yo, that shit.
Yeah,
was
without audio, it
crazy.
does definitely make a difference. Not really, but a little bit.
Cause if I know he was probably saying some crazy ass shit. So yeah, that was that's one of the craziest. I have stories galore.
That's a good one, though. That's a very juicy one. No pun intended. Hopefully she was, though.
I hope so
For his sake and for
right,
that, for their job's sake, because they ain't got one now.
They ain't
so.
got no. I mean, I
go out
hope
with
they
a
got a
bang.
job now, but
Go out with a bang.
they lost it, child. If it were up to me, I wouldn't have fired them.
Well, okay. I mean,
We don't know what they were going through at
Right.
that particular time. Somebody might have been
Right.
grieving and
That's the
needed
conversation you should have had.
some help.
yeah, you should have talked about that.
Why did you do this?
Wait, what?
What were you doing?
It went from like HR to like a doctor,
Right.
Tell me.
like your therapist. Tell
But
me
either
how
way,
you were
I
feeling.
would have had to turn because they got caught by the client. Like if it were me,
Right,
So
it was-
on my
yeah.
phone, not this phone, but I have a app that we use. We can actually watch.
The footage and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh.
so live, like
Wow.
on the sites, I can watch live and see what's happening. So if I would have seen it,
Wait a minute.
if I saw it, then my initial reaction would have been to hurry up and contact somebody to tell them, listen, I see you. Get your shit
I
together.
see you.
I see you. If I can see you, everybody, all of the other managers or administrators that have the access to the app
That's
can
true.
see
That's-
you. And the client can see you. Like, we can all see you.
They was trying that. Oh, JoJo, you had a good old
That's a good
time
story.
that day. It is a good story. You had an eyeful.
Do you have one?
I did get an eyeful.
You got an eyeful.
That was,
Woo.
I couldn't believe my eyes, y'all.
Well,
I was just like, what the fuck is happening right now? They really
they really getting it.
crazy. What about you, Justin?
Well, now I feel like mine doesn't own up to yours. I mean, I have.
as cool
It's not as cool. I have a really inappropriate one, which actually very much is in the same field as yours, and then I have a normal one. Let me go with the normal one real quick. So both of them have to do with me and my jobs in banking, not where I'm at now, but when I first started banking in the first 3 years. There was this one. This when I worked in Annapolis. So if you know Annapolis area, those of you who are watching. It's very prestigious. Like, people are stuck up. You have a fucking yacht and you have money, okay?
That's true.
People have money in the bank that will stick their nose up at you if you don't have money, right? That's how they are in Annapolis. So, but there was also another side, which was called Edgewater. Now, Edgewater is not as, it's a whole different story, right? It doesn't even sound like a nice city. Edgewater. Come on now, on the edge. So I was helping out at Edgewater's store. I shouldn't even just put the location out there, but too late. This is not that bad. And we had this big lady. Now, me and my coworkers always made fun of her because she was and it's mean to say this, but she was rude to people, but she was also like dirty, right? So we had an excuse to make fun of her. You're rude to people, so I'm gonna make fun of your ass. And I surely did. And she came in twice a day, and she always looked for certain people that she wanted to target, that she knew she could get without. She knew she could get to her level of happiness by picking on somebody about something stupid. So she would target her people. Well, what happened, and I happened to be one of them for like 6 months where I was helping out. She would always target me. She would come to my store in Annapolis and come to Edgewater when I was working at Edgewater. I was like, really, bitch? So one day, I was trying to be nice. I was on my don't talk about people mood where I wasn't talking about people for at least 24 hours, which was for me is very difficult. Okay, very hard. And she came in talking about how she had just went to the dentist and had to get like 6 of her top teeth replaced for whatever reason. Keep in mind it's Edgewater, so it's probably what's in the water. Rotted them things out and they fell out. I guarantee you. So she also always came in to get candy. You know, some banks have them dum-dum lollipops. So she always wanted lollipops, which we had left out on the counter for people. So she came in one day and we didn't have lollipops out. And she was super upset. She was very mad. And so we had to go get the bag in the back and open it up and give her a few because she demanded lollipops. Well, after about 5 minutes of an argument, like, we have a line of people here. Fuck your lollipops, bitch. Keep it moving. I was like, you know what? I got you, big girl. I got you. I'll get you 4 lollipops, and we're going to call it a day, okay? Then I have people to help. So I got her some lollipops. I brought them back, and she decides she wants to pop one open and start eating it right in front of me. I don't know what's going on in her mind. But anyway, as she was sucking the hell out that lollipop, 2 seconds later, I lied to you not. 2 seconds later, all I hear is something like this. A little tapping sound, right? So I look down and bitch, her tooth, her motherfucking tooth is bouncing on my fucking desk.
Oh no.
When I say bouncing, like, I mean, I didn't know what it was. JoJo. Her tooth was bouncing hard, and by the time I realized what it was already like on its 6th bounce, and it landed right in my lap. Now, for me, I didn't know whether I was more comfortable that I have to look down and grab this tooth and give it back to you, or the fact that she's embarrassed because it was her very front tooth. And I try not to laugh because my coworker's right next to me. I try not to laugh, but when she started like this, imagine what somebody's expression would be, right? Like, what would your expression be if your tooth just fell out?
I think I would immediately start crying.
Okay, and that's what she started to do very slowly. But when her mouth opened, we just saw this big gap, and we didn't know what to do but start laughing because I still didn't believe it really happened. It did, and she tried. Believe it or not, she tried to complain to the district manager to try to sue for her taking one of our lollipops and busting her tooth out, and us laughing at her.
Had better odds doing dum dum for that.
That's what we told her, girl. We don't make these lollipops. Yeah. And she was mad, but yes, definitely that thing was popping all over the place, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I didn't know if I should ask her, like, you want to put it back in? Do you have some denture glue with you? Like, how you going to do this? Because I'm not helping you. And
so it was one of the fake teeth that fell out, or was it like?
It was one of her implants. Oh. But she had just got it done like 2 days before. Dang. So they told her, don't eat hard candy or hard foods. And stupid dum-dum, she wants to eat a lollipop. And that's what she gets. And that's why I was like, so. Me like a lollipop. Hey. That's my story, but I was dead.
That was hilarious.
I was dead. And I was scared because that thing it scared the hell out of me when it was popping around everywhere. I didn't know what was jumping around my damn table. But it was a wrap when it landed in my lap, okay? I was done.
Oh, my gosh.
So I won't even get to the second one. That's the one I'll mention. That one I'll never forget that moment. Just as well as I'm sure you two will never forget your moments.
Oh, I can never forget. If I were to see either one of those people on the street, I don't know if I would be able to keep a straight face. For some reason, everybody at work's like, they like to call me Miss Jonay, and I hate that.
You don't like that?
No, I hate it. Or like, there's never a day that goes by, if I'm interviewing somebody, it's at least one person that says, I know you from somewhere. I'm like, I'm famous.
They swear they know you.
I'm famous. I mean, of course you know me from somewhere. But no, like, because I know they probably, the guy would probably say something like, hey, Miss Jonay, but the girl would probably.
She'd probably turn her head down. She'd probably
like,
Across the street.
She would. Even if traffic is coming, girl. Don't take your
Run
life.
real quick.
don't risk your life, girl. It's done and over with. We done seen it. It's uploaded online, girl. Nothing to hide from. We can watch it.
No, I did not kiss a girl. If you were paying attention and if you were tuned in, then you would have caught the story.
Have you ever kissed a girl though, Jonay?
I've never.
You know,
kissed
sometimes
a girl.
girls experiment and they drink, they have fun, and you know, this is things that straight guys think of. I don't, but straight guys think of this stuff clearly. Have you never kissed a girl?
I fake kissed a girl.
You told us about that.
Yeah.
When your production, where she
Yeah.
replaced a dude, and
Yeah.
she played the dude, and
Yeah.
you had a kiss.
I had to kiss
But it wasn't
her.
real. How'd you cover up, or you just like made it look like y'all was like real close?
Definitely got really close.
Okay. Oh, breath on each other's lips.
Yeah.
Mm.
Our breath.
At that point, you
kissed.
might as well just kiss, because I don't want no
I don't
stinking
want
breath
to kiss
on my
Melanie.
lips. Oh, she gonna put the name out there.
Yes, I said her name last time.
All right. Well, let's flip about crazy stuff, even though that's what I love, right? We're gonna flip crazy shit, and we're gonna talk about accomplishments, because that's what we need to look forward to.
Yeah.
Accomplishments. So now I want to know, like, what in life, as far as what we've already reached, different levels of accomplishments in our lives right now. What is the next big thing that you want to accomplish in your journey or in your life? Whether it's career related, relationship related, or anything. No matter what division or avenue of your existence, if you will. What would you say you want to accomplish that you have not been able to yet?
I want an Oscar.
You want to win an
Same.
Oscar. All right.
I want one.
Okay.
Yup.
Okay.
I
That's a
wanna-
good goal. Very good goal.
I would like to be an EGOT as well.
Okay, explain. For those of you, including me,
Definition.
who doesn't know what that means.
EGOT is the
What's an EGOT?
You have an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
So it includes all four.
Uh-huh.
Oh wow. Okay.
John Legend is he's got all four. Whoopi Goldberg has all four.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Are they the only two blacks that have all
Is
four?
it African American specific, or is it in
No.
general? Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Like
I didn't know.
Just
anybody
anyone
can have
can have
all
all
four,
four.
but
Okay.
they have a Grammy, a Emmy, a Tony, and an Oscar.
That makes sense.
Right. So you gonna hit all four buckets, and what would be your projected timeline for this?
Woo,
And
child.
what year would you like to reach this goal of
Let's see.
4 awards?
It's 2018 now.
Mm-hmm. She counted up, y'all. Y'all can't see her eyes,
is
but
gonna
her
be
eyes are
very
rolling back while
accurate.
she's thinking.
It's gonna be an accurate number.
Her eyes look like a slot machine.
2030.
2030.
Wait, what year is it?
12
Okay.
years? 12 years?
Okay.
That's a good goal, 12 years.
Yeah.
So, and that's a good age, too. I'm not going to put it out there, but that's a good
I
age.
mean,
It's not
go ahead,
bad,
put it
but that's
in.
a good age.
I'm
because-
31 now. Y'all do the math.
Right, okay. So you'll be mid-40s,
nice, yeah.
early to mid-40s, and that's not bad. A lot of people have reached that goal currently in their mid-40s probably, so
Yes.
that's a good one. I look forward to that. I'm going to be following you for 12 years of your life, girl. And if you don't have in 12 years, then guess what? We're not friends no more. I'm just playing. Y'all know I love her. What would you say, Kelsey? What would be an accomplishment you would like to reach?
If we're doing short term, I would really like to have an agent within the next couple months.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Or like at least around pilot season.
Yeah.
So like March.
Okay. Good.
That's my timeline for that as well. So that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. But long term, I want that Oscar.
Mm.
And I want to be
We
Catwoman.
have, yes.
Yes.
I would
I will
love for you
say
to
that
be
every time I
Catwoman.
come on this show. I will say I want to be Catwoman.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Guess what? You gonna be Catwoman.
Thank you. See, this is why we get along. She
That's
believes
right.
in
I
me.
can see. I would like that. You'd be a very sexy Catwoman.
Cool.
I'll
You
take
would
it.
Anytime.
give a lot of good sass and the looks that you need to pull
Sass
that look
is my
off.
thing.
Yes.
I see it.
I think you should, for Halloween one year,
I've been it already.
Well, can you send me? I want to see a picture. I want to see a picture of you.
I painted all my masks. It was great.
Oh my gosh, I really want to see a picture. I'm sure it's probably bomb as hell.
I have one somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this year you're gonna be Hillary Banks, right? Are you doing the Hillary Banks thing this year?
Honestly, I really don't want to dress up anymore.
No?
But yes, I will. I have to dress up next week.
I mean, you could even pull that off because you know she was in the little
Probably do
prestigious
Hillary
psycho.
Banks.
Yeah.
I mean, I have ripped jeans on, but.
Well, yeah. But see, they can't see
No,
the
I'll
jeans.
probably figure it out though.
Yeah.
I'll probably do Hillary Banks still.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good look for you.
I'll take
That's
it.
a good look for you. Yeah. So what are you gonna be for Halloween, JoJo?
My best friend called me her. She told me to take my damn sunglasses off. She said,
She don't want to. She's keeping herself.
if you don't take those motherfucking glasses off.
She's keeping
I am
herself
her.
in hiding today, right? It's okay. She can still see everything.
I can.
What you gonna be for Halloween, JoJo?
You know, I don't celebrate it.
I don't either, to be honest with you. I don't either. Mm-mm.
Well, I've never dressed up.
Never?
Never dressed up?
Even as a kid?
I'm a PK.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So y'all don't. Well, I mean, but some.
We had Holy Night where you dressed up like Bible
Sorry,
characters.
my face. Shut the. I can't say hell up because we're talking about.
I've been Mother Mary.
I'm not gonna lie. When I went to, believe it or not, I went to a Christian private school, and we did plays, and I was always Abraham or Joseph.
Joseph. I
Joseph.
can see it.
I was always Joseph. Before the beard, so you have to imagine a bald Joseph.
How about Joseph?
But that was me. And one time I was the lamb. Oh, it was so cute.
Oh.
I think I still have pictures. Me and my best friend were
Well,
the
I
little
wanna see
sheep.
it.
And I was, I mean, now I'm so white, but I was so white. Like this table back then. So I looked like, you couldn't even tell I was wearing a costume. I looked like I was the sheep, the lamb. And it was so cute, though. Oh, we had to, like, sit around and, like, move around like this. It was so cute. Oh, I
You
miss
should
that.
be Mary, and you should be the lamb.
Girl, it's a little too late for that now. I ain't.
Look,
This ain't no lamb chops play along. No. Who gonna be? You gonna be Mary?
I'm gonna be Mary.
That's messed up. You gonna make me your animal, your pet? Then you gonna have the little cane, the little stick. What's that little Bo Peep?
That's little Bo Peep.
Girl,
The sheep lost her sheep.
well, that's gonna be me, girl, because I'm getting the hell out of there. I ain't gonna be in that costume for more than 5 minutes. I don't dress up for Halloween no more. I don't do that. Give me some candy and I'm good. I'm
DJ,
good.
what
Happy
you
Halloween.
what you been for Halloween this year?
I haven't thought about it.
Where have you not been before that you want to be?
The Joker.
The Joker? Okay.
The new Joker or like the classic Joker?
I like
Yeah, there's definitely a
Dun, dun,
difference.
dun.
the Joker better.
God damn it.
I like that one too.
Little
I like the
BTS.
Joker's more like a clown, but the new
I'm terrified. I have a phobia against clowns.
evil.
This one's been really good.
You
It's
know,
good
they're.
that you waiting till like now to do it too, because that year when that movie came out, everybody was the Joker and Harley
Yeah.
Quinn. I saw like a billion of them.
Yes, I was.
It's the most like
Everybody.
overused that year. Yeah.
Everybody.
Everybody was Harley Quinn.
You know, little behind the scenes moment, not behind the scenes, but a little extra. They casting right now for the new Joker movie they're going to be filming at the end of the year.
Really?
Yep, they're casting in Atlanta. So if you're in the Atlanta area,
I can be there.
go online, look it up. The new Joker movie is going to be cast.
They're
No,
casting like extras though, right?
no, they have extras,
Their
but
principals if it's filming already.
they don't have principals, but they have what is it called? Not supporting. They have some background, but there are some lines involved. There are
Guest
some lines
stars.
involved.
Well, I
Yeah,
guess it's guest stars in TV,
more like
but
guest stars. Yeah,
whatever
it's
it is,
probably
that works.
small roles, but it's still an opportunity to do
Yeah.
it. So if you're in the Atlanta area, definitely look it up online.
I got broads in Atlanta.
Do you now? With them glasses on, I would not doubt it.
Panda.
I would not doubt it. So, who me? The song? Yeah. I used to love that song, but that song is so like 2 years ago.
I
so
love that. I still love that.
I don't pay attention to old shit now.
Oh, excuse me.
It's all about the new shit. So, accomplishments. Okay, well, I will mention this. What I would love to do. What I would love to do. I've always wanted to have my own business. And always want to. Well, it's a great question. Great question. Because I've always wanted to do different things. So I've narrowed it down. I used to be a mentor and like a coach instructor for a company. And they did different classes, different workshops in one big company. It was like a big umbrella. So I taught the modeling class and the personal development class for kids. So they were ages anywhere from 6 to 18 years old. And I did it for 5 years. 5 years, and it was always done during the summertime when the kids were out of school, and I miss it so much. What I want to do is be able to incorporate that more on the personal development side, to really give the youth an opportunity to learn what it's going to be like to be an adult, to be successful, to be responsible. I want to gear it toward, not limit it to, but gear it towards less fortunate children, or maybe kids who are in foster care, who don't have that opportunity to learn those type of things. So I would love to be able to do that. Now, we have to have a hook, right? We have to have something that's going to bring them in and make them engaged. So I'll add probably something like the modeling piece to it, because all kids always want to be on the big screen. They're all movie stars. They're all models, especially little girls. They love that. Yeah. So that'll be the hook for them to make them more engaged in the courses. But that's what I would love to do.
Do it.
I would absolutely. I think the area I'd like to do it in, though, is nowhere around here. I actually want to do it in an area that's more. I mean, Baltimore, actually, believe it or not, has a good amount of kids in foster care. As of right now, we have a lot. But I would like to go to an area a little bit bigger, where the audience of that group is a little bit larger. So more opportunities, more diversity, more culture. Different ethnicities, different backgrounds. So maybe like California. I thought about doing Brooklyn for a while, but I think California would be a good option for me.
Yes.
So that's a goal of mine. Timeline-wise, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It all depends on where I'm headed in life. So I would love to be able to say in 10 years, it's a done deal. And that's going to be my goal for right now. If I can do it in 5 to 6 years, that would be great. So that's what I'm shooting for, 5 to 6. But if not, 10 years.
I like that.
10 years.
That's awesome.
You gonna come visit me? You gonna come
I'm
visit
moving.
Absolutely.
me? Yes. You gonna be one of my.
I'm moving.
Y'all can be my
To
instructors.
LA.
I want to start a company as well, acting
Do
company.
you?
Yeah, but mine's like managing and then acting school.
Okay, nice.
So similar, but
That'll be good.
I'll send my students to you for personal development.
There we go, and then we'll send them over. Yes, break them out the box.
There we go.
Get them feeling comfortable and not so stage fright and so worried and concerned. We'll make them open up a little bit more.
I love that.
Yes, and then I'll send them your way. It's partnership, networking. That's what we're gonna do. And Jonae, how would you like to be involved? Whatever role you want.
I will come.
You're gonna be HR and fire the kids.
No,
Y'all doing a bad job. You're fired.
I'm gonna be the famous person that all of the children love, and you're gonna be like my good friend Johnny. They be like, "Oh my God, you're friends with Johnny! Oh my God!" Like,
okay, you gonna play that. You
down,
gonna play that
yes.
role. Okay.
And they
I would love that.
Yes, that's gonna be. And
I would love that.
Take pictures with them and give them hugs and kisses and love.
Oh, do it.
And say, hey, you can always call me. Because I'm never going to be able to turn off the HR. Right.
it
I'm going to
comes
have
naturally.
a special phone for them. And I'm going to keep my phone with me.
For the parents, I'm assuming, because these kids ain't going to probably be calling you, girl.
No.
You got 5 and 6, 7-year-olds, but some of them do have phones. But
by that time, listen,
Not if
They'll
they're-
have a phone
now
like
have
built
all
into their
phones.
arm within the next 10
Not-
years.
I know,
It'll
right?
Be wild.
Oh my gosh.
which is
Hands
very
down.
true. Which is
Hands
very
down.
true. You just call someone like this and start talking to your wrist.
Hello,
People gonna be
what
like,
you
"Is he
want?"
crazy?" Yes, I am. Okay, well that's some good.
Get work emails.
What? No, what's happening?
Work email.
Oh, she's on duty right now. Y'all, if y'all work with her, she's not on duty. Leave her alone. She'll be back tomorrow. Don't worry. I want to get into something in just a little bit. We're gonna actually switch gears and go into our interview with Kelsey in just a moment.
Ooh.
Before we do so, I want to mention Jonae. You remember Aaron Velke? Were you here for that interview we had with him? It was Kiara, and I believe it was you and me. He was the one that owned Ordis Academy. Maybe that was Jared.
It wasn't me.
Okay. Well, Aaron Velke came out to the studios here and interviewed like maybe 3 or 4 months ago. Amazing company, amazing gentleman. He owns a company in Baltimore area. He travels to different schools and teaches like financial literacy to children in elementary and middle school, and also adds some fun stuff into it. That's like a workshop also. It's done in their gymnasium of every school. And they have stations set up, and each station does something different. It's like the game of life, literally like a real live game of life. And the kids go to each station, and they do something different. And it's like, for example, the marriage station, when you get married, the expenses where you have to pay your bills, the bank where you earn money and deposit and withdraw, the lottery where you can gamble and take a risk, school, you can buy an education. So they put them through all these different scenarios to see how they balance their finances and are they making the right decisions. It's a great company. I volunteered with them on Tuesday this week.
Oh, nice.
And I was at the banker table, so I was giving out the money and taking the deposits. And let me tell you, the kids loved. I love working with kids in general, but this was like so much fun because kids love to play with fake money, real money. It don't matter what it is. They enjoyed it so much. And actually, I told Aaron that I would like to bring the co-host as well. So, of course, I would like to make sure that you and Jared have an opportunity to work with him. Now, it is during the week. Keep in mind, it's during the week. So, like, we have volunteer time at my job we can take. I don't know if you or Jared, shout out to you, if you have volunteer time as well. But let's round table it up in a few months and talk about it. Because 2019, I would like to go back and show a little fun and have someone record us doing some events so we can air it right here on Out the Box Radio.
I'm with it.
And also, Kelsey, you can come too if you want to.
Company. I wish we had that. I'd know a lot.
I'm gonna let you know. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Much better handle.
I know. Well, hello. I learned a lot from these little lessons.
That should be a new requirement.
Yeah. It's a good idea. Yeah. I'm gonna let you know as well, so we can look into that also.
I mean, I don't know what to do with money, so I don't know what to teach you, but
you
that's fine.
You can be the lottery person. They have to buy. They have a wheel too. You spin the wheel. You can do that. Yeah. All right. So we got our positions locked down. Okay.
Perfect.
So I want to actually switch gears now into the interview. But before we do this, I want to show a video for those of you who are tuning in right now online. If you're on Radio on Fire, if you're on Facebook, YouTube, you name it, we're going to show you a video. This is Kelsey Gooden's monologue, and it actually is really good. And we're going to talk about it in a second. I want y'all to take a look first, and then we're going to get right into it. Kelsey Gooden.
Because if you can't explain an ending, probably don't deserve one. And he shifted, and he touched me lightly. It was familiar. And the shadows on the room were familiar. I sat in the chair by the bed, watching him sleep, until I ached from sitting. And then I went out to the tool shed, where I had hidden the suitcase, and put it by the door of the car, and stood, not knowing what to do next, in the yard, listening to the sound of the trucks pass on the freeway down below. He was so good at beginnings and endings, and summing things up and knowing what must be done and explaining why it was the way it was now. And I'd never really seemed to have a talent for it. I owed him a good, solid ending, one that he could carry around and trot out on special occasions and gatherings. But for the life of me, I couldn't think of one. I thought of things that had happened, and then more things and more things. But I couldn't find an explanation. And it was a serious, hopeless failing. I couldn't be forgiven. And so I went back in. I laid down beside him. Because if you can't explain an ending, then you probably don't deserve one. And he shifted, and he touched me lightly. It was familiar. The shadows on the room were familiar. And the beginnings of the birds were familiar. And as I laid there and fell asleep, I thought to myself, that's all right then. It's going on. It's going on.
You guys did that with my name and stuff. That was
I
cute.
can send it to you.
I like that.
Ma'am.
That'd be fabulous. Thank you.
Kelsey Gooden monologue. Okay, let me tell you something. I have a question about that.
Oh.
Because everyone's different, and not everyone can cry on cue. Okay? That's the first thing I noticed when I watched this video yesterday when you sent it to me, and I was myself about to cry because I was like, oh my gosh, it's so powerful.
Yeah.
Very powerful. What allowed you to get to that moment? What were you thinking about in order to reach that level that you needed to for this monologue?
You know something? This monologue was actually really interesting. I was handed it in my class in college. So this is kind of old, honestly. I should
Okay.
probably get a new one, hence the nose ring. But it really hit home with me, and we worked on it for a couple weeks. And the idea of the whole class was to like help create footage for our reel, and this really stuck with me
Okay,
because I liked the footage I got.
It's amazing.
But I don't know. I cry a lot. I cry in almost everything I've done.
Okay.
I'm a dramatic person, I guess. But it's like I get one or two good takes of that cry. It's
Right.
like recently for the last movie I did, it was a matter of I reached this one scene where I had to cry in it, and she wanted it on cue.
Oh, okay.
And it was almost impossible because I had been given in the moment at least, it was almost impossible because I'd been given I had made it more of a task to make that the end result. I don't really make that the end result.
Right.
It's just kind of like one of my acting coaches, the first one I had, we did this exercise where she teaches you essentially to cry in 10 seconds.
Oh.
Wow. But one of the things she says is like, what do you do when you're actually crying as a human? What do? You try to not cry. So the idea of holding it back and not suffocating, but trying to pretend like you have it all together, and then breathing through it, it flows by itself. I also hadn't slept, so
that helped. That added value to it, right?
Yeah, it definitely added to it.
Wow.
So, but
Do you believe in the method of obviously thinking of something that happened emotionally to you to help stir up that beginning level?
Yes, I definitely. The way I operate with my scripts is I find my substitutions and people that and circumstances that might kind of mirror that, as long as they're things that I've worked through is the key.
Right,
because if
exactly.
it's not, it's too personable, it's too real, you won't be able to detach there.
Right. I think we might. Is that a caller calling in?
Who's
Okay.
someone calling?
But yeah.
Okay.
So
that's okay. That's good though, because I didn't know about the holding it in type thing, which is
Yeah.
good to know. I have done only two gigs before where I had to cry in a scene, and the first one I did honestly was not. I'm not gonna lie, it's not good. It's probably within my first 2 years of acting, and I didn't really know how to be that level of dramatic. I'd always done comedy, or actually at that time I'd only done comedy. So then the second gig I had was after I met my father on the show Finding My Father. And now every time I have to prepare for something like that, all I have to do, and honestly, I'm not going to lie, I do this when I do casting for other reality shows too, and I have to get dramatic because you always want to make the casting director cry too, feel your pain. So I talk about the story of meeting my father, but immediately I can get into it in less than 2 minutes and I'll be flowing tears. And I just remember exactly what I went through on the show. And so from that, for me, I can attain that moment for me to be able to cry on cue. But yeah, and it's not easy. I mean, honestly, it's really not easy. But once you get in the habit of it, if you do it a few times, I think it becomes more you're used to it. You can do it more or less on cue, if you will. You don't need as much direction or.
That's true.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even like using the phrase cry on cue,
right?
Unless there's an end goal, that's your end goal. Because even in that,
True.
you're finding the journey over and over again. So it's it just happens to make you cry each time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's more organic that way. It's not I'm crying on cue right here at this word.
Right, exactly,
Because
exactly.
that's a lot of pressure.
It is.
That's
It's
a lot.
difficult.
The crying thing is very easy for me. No, seriously.
It's good if it is, though.
It's very
good.
easy.
Yeah. How do you do it?
I'm just overly dramatic. I'm gonna tell you what roles are hard for me. Comedic roles
Are they?
are hard for
Oh,
me.
I'm so good at comedy. What
I
about
can
what?
drama
I haven't
you
done
up.
much comedy, so yeah.
What would you say?
I haven't done much comedy, honestly.
No?
Yeah.
That's my weakness.
I'm always a goofy ass person, so comedy for me is very easy. I'm very witty, very like, with the puns, very quick. So if there's a role like that, I don't even have to get in character. That's just how I am naturally. I love
It's
comedy.
all about timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love timing.
with comedy, and and it's so quick. You have to be quick, and you can miss it real
Right.
fast. So like, if
And
you
that's a whole
don't
different
have
thing,
that,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So with acting, what would you say as far? Well, first, when did you start acting? And if you can remember, what was your first gig?
A gig that I got paid for?
Um,
First role I
It's
ever
funny you mentioned that
did,
because a
'cause
few
there's
actors
big
who have been here
difference.
said the same thing. Well, not been paid for, not paid for. Let's give an example of both because it
Okay.
could be different levels.
So my first, I mean, and then it also comes like, do you want the not paid one to be professional or just like first thing I ever did? Well, I guess they both tie into when I started, I guess.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I started acting. I mean, I don't really know how to guess an age because I kind of just always did Christmas pageants.
Okay.
Like
Wow.
I loved it.
Christmas
Like
pageants.
Sundays in church and stuff when I could like dress up as a little angel and walk down the thing.
Oh, look at you.
It was my thing. But other than that, we had an after-school program in elementary school. So 3rd or 4th grade.
Okay.
Part of that, like, you know, it's called Mesa. Only Maryland has it, actually, I think.
Oh, okay.
But it like it touches on like academic programs and things like that. And
Okay.
we were given a topic, and it was communications was our group. I don't really remember exactly how it worked because I was in 4th grade. But the idea of it was to convey whatever message we had been given for the semester through like a little play.
Okay.
So we wrote the play, made the characters, my team and I, and just did it. And I remember every time I went to school, I was so excited to like, you know, get to Mesa and start writing and coming up with these characters that I love
Right.
to do and whatever else. And my first role, I was a news reporter. I came up with my
nice.
name, and I was thinking about this earlier today, actually. I feel like I came up with a lot of the concept of the thing, but like, I'm not sure how much percentage-wise I did, and my teachers did.
Okay.
But it was like about superheroes in City X, and I was interviewing all of them, and my name was Mayhem. I thought it was so
That is
cool.
very clever.
was
Mayhem.
cool.
You made that up yourself?
I did.
That is very clever.
But and we went to the competition, and I had the first line from the thing, and I remember like my mom still tells this story, like when people ask how I started acting to her, and the way she says it is like I took the microphone, and it was a whole room full of like rowdy kids and stuff like that, and I just started talking, and she was like, and you started talking, and everybody stopped, and I was like, I don't, and she's like, when the mom said to me like, what just happened? And she's like, I don't know.
Right.
I've never seen her talk that much.
Yeah.
That
That's
was where
exciting.
it started, yeah.
So you showed her what you got, your skills,
Yeah,
and
I
you're
mean,
talented.
my mom's a salesperson, so.
Oh. So she got herself
Yeah,
a
I
little
got that
pitch.
talking
Okay,
for it.
yes. Sales pitch.
So
That's
out
what's
of
up.
all of your experience,
Mhm.
thus far, what has been your favorite role that you've played? And why?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it was this past one I just did.
The one that I saw online.
That one?
No. No, the one that.
Oh yeah, the
yeah.
behind the scenes.
Yeah, talk
Yes,
about that. Yeah, yeah.
I finished a movie last month. It's a short-ish. I think it's like estimated at like 45 minutes, but it still hasn't been through editing and all that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the largest role is the lead role, first paid lead role I've ever had. So that was awesome.
Congrats.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this, I really liked this project because I liked the story behind it. It was written by this woman, Debbie Camper, who was amazing, and also directed by her. But it's a true story about something that her family went through where her brother was reported missing and then as a suicide threat. And he was missing for, I think she said about 30 hours or so. So it was a very short amount of time.
Right.
But it's just the family coping with it and like working around, you know, how to find him.
Right.
She was the middle child. She has an older brother and a younger brother, and it was the younger brother that went missing. And so I play her, which first off, I don't even know how to like discuss what an honor that is for somebody to trust you with a story that's that personal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why it was my favorite, actually, was because it was like I could draw from her experiences, and hopefully I did it justice. I'm terrified to see what it looks like. But,
no, I'm sure we all feel like that. I'm sure it'll be great.
Yes, that's my favorite.
I'm happy for you. I can't wait to see it myself.
Oh, me neither.
Woohoo! Yes. So how does Kelsey prepare for a role? Any type of role. How do you prepare?
Kelsey just jumps.
Ain't no problem with that. It takes a leap of faith.
Yeah. I do my script work as thoroughly as I can.
Okay.
This film was a challenge because I think I've been dealing with this there's a balance and a juxtaposition, I guess, to finding a correct way to do your scripts. Like, you do your research and you do your homework, but then you also have to trust that you know it and kind of throw it out the window and
exactly
go.
Right.
And that's where I've always had a hard time. Actually, the scene that we saw, that teacher from that class. Yeah. On the last day, I asked her for advice, and she said, honestly, you need to trust yourself more. And she's like, you do the homework amazingly, but you hold on to it so tightly that there's no room for discoveries. So that's what I find really hard. Okay. But I learned this past movie to kind of always go back to doing the homework.
Yeah. Sure.
Thoroughly. So I do a lot of that. Research character. I build whole lives for my characters beyond.
Good.
That's important.
You have to.
Yeah,
Very
motives for everybody, an end goal for every scene, every different motive. It's a lot of writing.
It's a lot of work, isn't it?
I feel bad. I waste so many trees, honestly. It's kind of ridiculous. But
and people don't realize that they're not in the industry.
It's hard.
How much work goes into it?
It's hard.
People just think that they see the finished product,
right?
And then that's that.
It's all fun and games.
But it's a lot, and that's why it's very important to make sure that you have a balance mentally, because when you're really doing the research and you're really working, it is very easy to get lost in that when you are creating these lives. You have a character, but a lot of the time you don't know anything about them. You don't know where they come from, and that's why every person that plays the Joker, I feel like, is extremely talented. Because if you notice about the Joker, he does not have we don't actually know where he comes from.
Right.
We know that he's been through some things, but it's always changing.
Yeah.
We don't know what's true. So they have to actually create a whole story behind it and really delve into it to make it real, and you can get lost in characters. You're not mentally. So yes, it is not just I'm going to pick this script up, memorize these lines, and then go ahead.
Right.
It's
I'm on TV, I'm a star. No,
it's
a
not
job.
It is
it's
a
job in itself.
Yes,
it's a great job and accomplishment to have if you reach that level, but it's hard work. So
you can always tell the people that actually love it and have a passion for it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
They know.
Absolutely.
It's
100%.
not easy. But Miss Kelsey, you have traveled a lot. Yes, you have traveled a lot.
I'm tired.
Your feet hurt. Your feet hurt. Right.
So what are some of the different places that you've gone?
I was born and raised in Maryland.
Shout out, MD.
My freshman and sophomore year, I lived in San Diego because my dad was also in the Navy growing up.
Nice.
So we got stationed there real quick for those 2 years. Moved back, graduated. Then I went to St. John's in Queens, New York for 2 years. And then I went to Emerson in Boston. I transferred. And I was there for a year. And then Emerson had a satellite campus in LA, and I went there for a semester. And then I decided to stay in LA for an extra year. Then I moved from LA to Hoboken, New Jersey, just outside New York.
Right.
And now I'm back home.
Back home. It's a lot of places. You have been on the move, girl.
It's a lot.
On the go.
But you get it, but I feel like that helps you as an actress as well, because you've been to all of these different places and you've experienced all of these different atmospheres and take from that, and you have other attributes that you can bring to the characters that you portray. Yes, ma'am.
That's exactly why I do it, actually. I kind of go, I don't know, I just always justify it to my parents, like, I go where I feel called, which is really what it is. Like, I really do. I feel like I go, like, where I feel like my soul should be at in the moment, but I also operate, I like learning in different markets. Like I said earlier, I want to open my own management company and business, and how can I do that if I don't know how the markets work? How can I understand the business if I'm not learning it at every angle? So that's kind of the way that I operate with my moving every.
That's a good method.
Every couple of years.
A good way to think.
Learn everything you can, every way you can.
Yeah.
So where did you find, like, of the states that you mentioned, which state did you find you got the most exposure?
Exposure?
Or like experience, I guess.
Like I did the most, I mean, or the most, like, learning, because I think they're both very different. Like, I think the most exposure, like, in the entertainment industry and things like that, I'd probably say New York, actually. I did a lot when I first started out in college, not like professionally too much, but like you were always in somewhere, or like you always had somewhere to be. But things I learned was Boston, hands down. And I think that that's just because of Emerson College. Like, my college was phenomenal.
Nice.
Absolutely phenomenal. And it changed a lot of perspectives that I had on not only, like, it was also a really big transitional period for me in life. But it changed a lot of expectations that I had on the industry and on myself and the world around me. It was, I'm going to donate so much money to you guys.
Well, that's awesome, though. But the good thing is, the way you keep yourself, like, level-headed, level-minded, you know what your next goals are, you know what you're trying to accomplish, and a lot of people can fall out of that mindset when it comes to doing something as simple as traveling. They might just get lost in a moment, they might get overwhelmed, they might get down and unsure of where their next steps are going to be, you know what I mean, in their career path, or no matter what you're doing for your career. So shout out to you, because I've only known you for, like 3 or 4 weeks now. I haven't known you that long, not even a month. But from what I've seen, I first saw her from what she just talked about, one of her productions she just wrapped up. That's where I first saw Kelsey, as I knew she was going to be a part of a production that we are filming together, where she tries to beat me up. What her team does. Her team whoops my ass.
I guess a fight, guys.
It's a fight.
I'm so excited.
It's a fight.
Oh, Lord, Justin loves to do that.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to love this one so much. But yes, it's actually, from seeing that, though, from seeing you on that production, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do some more research on this girl. So watching your moves, learning about you more, even from this interview, having you on the show last time, and then before we got here, when we were on set, just that chemistry, I was like, okay, she's a winner. She's motivated. She's successful, and she's gonna be on our side. She's gonna be on our side.
That's
so kudos to you.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Well, look, don't anyone go anywhere just yet. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. We are gonna come back in just a few moments to finish our interview and wrap it up, and then we actually have a challenge. So I want to get into that pretty soon before we run out of time. So we're gonna show a video. This is a gentleman named David Corey. I don't know if you guys know who this is. I love David Corey. He has an amazing voice. He's actually from this area. He moved West Coast, but he's actually back out here as we speak today, performing at Echo Stage, starting at 7:30. So if those of you who are in DC, they're sold out, but if you're in there, good for you. If not, go listen by the door. Let me tell you something. David has an amazing voice. This is one of his remakes. He did a music video for the song I Don't Want to Know. It has a good twist to it. It's amazing. Cool. Check him out on YouTube. He has tons of videos, and his Instagram is David Corey, Correy. This is his music video that came out this year for I Don't Want to Know. Take a look.
Oh yes, let's watch. Woo-hoo.